Every single morning, before the coffee finishes brewing, before the school bus arrives, before the stock market opens, over 3 million Americans do the same thing. They turn on one show, they look at one face, they trust one voice. And behind that warm smile, behind that Good Morning America, there is a machine, a revenue machine that has generated hundreds of millions of dollars year after year, decade after decade. This is that story. Good Morning America. 3 words, 48 years on American television, and right now, in early 2026, it is still the #1 morning show in the country. But morning television is not just entertainment. It is a business, a fiercely competitive, brutally commercial $100 million business where ratings are currency and attention is everything. And at the center of that business for over 20 years has been one woman, Robin Roberts, co-anchor, Emmy Award winner, cancer survivor, and though many people don't think about it this way, one of the most valuable human assets in American television. She joined Good Morning America as co-anchor in 2005, and in the 2 decades since, she hasn't just hosted a show. She has built a brand. She has driven ratings. She has been the emotional anchor in every sense of that word for millions of American families. Her famous philosophy? 4 words that tell you everything about who she is and why America can't look away. In this video, we are going to break down the business behind the woman, the dollars behind the drama, the strategy behind the smile. And by the end, you will understand exactly why Robin Roberts isn't just a TV host. She is a revenue machine. To understand Robin Roberts, you have to go back to the beginning. Not to New York, not to Hollywood, but to a small town in the American South. Robin Renee Roberts was born in Tuskegee, Alabama. She grew up in Pass Christian, Mississippi, a small, tight-knit community on the Gulf Coast, where she learned the values that would define her entire career: hard work, resilience, authenticity. She was an athlete first, a fierce competitor. She played college basketball at Southeastern Louisiana University, and that competitive fire, it never left her. It just found a different arena. After college, Robin started exactly where most broadcasters start, at the bottom. Local sports reporting in small markets, grinding, learning, building her voice. And then, in 1990, ESPN came calling. For 15 years, from 1990 to 2005, Robin Roberts was a fixture at ESPN. She covered everything: NFL, NBA, college sports, and along the way, she broke a barrier that no woman had broken before. She became the first woman to co-host NFL Primetime on ESPN. In a sports broadcasting world dominated by men, Robin Roberts didn't ask for a seat at the table. She built her own. And in 2005, ABC came knocking. They offered her the co-anchor chair on Good Morning America, a show that at that point was struggling, losing the ratings war, searching for an identity. Robin Roberts didn't just accept the job, she transformed it. She brought to morning television something that had been missing: genuine, unscripted, real human connection. She talked to viewers not like a broadcaster talks to an audience, but like a friend talks to a friend. And that authenticity is not a soft skill. In the television business, authenticity is a competitive advantage. It builds loyalty, and loyalty builds ratings, and ratings, as we are about to see, build empires. Let's talk about money, because behind every great show, there is a business model. And the business model of Good Morning America is one of the most powerful in American media. Here's how morning television works as a business. Every morning, between the hours of 7 and 9 a.m., American networks compete for the attention of their most valuable demographic: working adults, parents, decision makers, people who have spending power, and advertisers know this. They pay premium prices to put their brands in front of those viewers during those exact hours. We're talking about some of the most expensive advertising real estate in all of television. At its peak, Good Morning America pulled in over $314 million in a single year in advertising revenue alone. $314 million from one show, running 2 hours every weekday morning. Think about that for a second. But advertising is just one layer of GMA's revenue machine. There is a second layer, and it is genius in its simplicity. GMA Deals and Steals. Every Thursday morning, the show runs a commerce segment featuring deeply discounted products from brands who pay to be featured. Tori Johnson has hosted this segment for 20 years, and in that time, she has helped GMA viewers save an estimated $1.5 billion. $1.5 billion. That is not just a shopping segment. That is a commerce engine disguised as entertainment. And for the brands featured, the ROI is extraordinary. A single Deals and Steals appearance can sell out a product's entire inventory in hours. Add to that their major corporate sponsors, Chase Bank, PayPal, and dozens of others who pay millions for integrated marketing inside the show, and you begin to see the full picture of what GMA really is. And then there is the talent investment. ABC News pays its 3 flagship GMA anchors, Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan, a combined salary of over $75 million per year. $75 million every single year. That sounds expensive, and it is expensive. But in the math of television, it's not a cost, it's a calculated investment. Because those 3 names on that set every morning generate advertising, sponsorship, and brand value that is worth far more than $75 million. This is the core equation of GMA's business model, and it's the same equation that drives every major entertainment empire in America. You invest in star power. Star power drives ratings. Ratings drive ad rates. Ad rates drive revenue. Revenue justifies the investment, and the cycle continues. Numbers and revenue charts tell you how Good Morning America makes money, but they don't tell you why Robin Roberts is irreplaceable to that machine. For that, we need to talk about something much more personal. In 2007, Robin Roberts did something that most television executives would have strongly advised against. She sat down at the GMA anchor desk, the desk she had worked so hard to earn, and she told millions of Americans that she had been diagnosed with breast cancer. She didn't hide it. She didn't step away quietly. She made her illness part of her story and, by extension, part of America's story. She went through chemotherapy on national television. She documented her treatment. She was vulnerable in a way that morning television had never seen before. And something remarkable happened. Instead of her audience shrinking, it grew. Because people don't just watch television, they connect with it. And when Robin Roberts showed her audience that she was human, fallible, afraid, fighting, they didn't turn away. They pulled closer. But the story wasn't over. 5 years after beating breast cancer in 2012, Robin Roberts received a second devastating diagnosis, myelodysplastic syndrome, MDS, a rare and dangerous disease of the blood and bone marrow caused with painful irony by the very chemotherapy that had saved her from cancer. She needed a bone marrow transplant, and it was her own sister Sally Ann Roberts who stepped forward as her donor. Once again, Robin Roberts faced the cameras. Once again, she told her story. Once again, America watched. She stepped away from GMA for treatment, and when she walked back onto that set in 2013, the Today Show sent flowers, the President of the United States sent a message, and 3 million Americans watched her return live. In the business world, we talk about brand equity, the invisible value that a brand accumulates over time through trust and recognition. Robin Roberts built more brand equity through her health battles than most brands build in a lifetime of marketing campaigns. Make your mess your message. That phrase became her brand, her book, her speaking career, her legacy, and it became, quietly, powerfully, one of the most authentic brand philosophies in American media. In September 2023, after 18 years together, Robin Roberts married her partner Amber Lane in an intimate backyard ceremony surrounded by close family and friends. A childhood pastor officiated, and with characteristic grace, she shared the moment with her GMA family and with the world. Today, her net worth stands at an estimated $55 to $75 million. Her annual salary from GMA, per Forbes, is $25 million. She is one of the top 5 highest paid news anchors in the entire country. In every great business story, there is a great competition. And for Good Morning America, that competition has a name: 2 letters, NBC, and one show, The Today Show. For decades, GMA and Today have fought one of the most expensive, most closely watched ratings wars in the history of American television. Every Monday morning, media executives on both sides open Nielsen ratings reports like generals reviewing battlefield maps. Every fraction of a ratings point represents millions of dollars in advertising contracts. For years, Today dominated. It was the undisputed king of morning television. And then, under Robin Roberts' watch, GMA fought back, clawed back viewers, won the ratings race, reclaimed the #1 title. But competition doesn't sleep, and in 2025, GMA started feeling the pressure again. Today began gaining ground. And then, in late 2025, something remarkable leaked to the press. GMA executives held what was described in the media as a, quote, top secret crisis meeting, behind closed doors, away from cameras. The mission? Figure out why they were losing viewers to Today and how to get them back. Today had won 14 out of 19 weeks in the 2025 season. In the business of morning television, that's not just a ratings story, that's a revenue story. Because when you're #2, your advertising rates drop, your leverage in negotiations shrinks, and your investors get nervous. But here is the thing about GMA, and here is the thing about Robin Roberts. They are not a team that stays down. On February 23, 2026, GMA recorded its largest audience in over 2 years, 3.137 million viewers, a number that sent a very clear message to every media buyer in America. GMA is back. That number isn't just a statistic. Every 100,000 extra viewers represents hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of additional dollars in advertising revenue. A comeback in ratings is, in the truest sense, a comeback in cash. But there is a bigger challenge facing Good Morning America and facing Robin Roberts than any single ratings week. And that challenge is structural. It is the slow, relentless shift in how Americans consume media. The average age of a traditional morning news viewer is getting older. Younger Americans, millennials, Gen Z, they're not watching GMA on ABC at 7 a.m. They're watching YouTube shorts at noon. They're streaming on demand. They're consuming news in 10-second clips on Instagram and TikTok. For any traditional broadcast show, this is an existential question. Do you adapt, or do you slowly become irrelevant? Good Morning America has chosen, clearly, to adapt. GMA now distributes content across multiple platforms simultaneously. Their YouTube channel clips go viral, their social media presence generates millions of impressions. Their segments are available next day on Disney Plus and Hulu, reaching streaming-first audiences who would never turn on a television before 9 a.m. And in December 2025, Robin Roberts herself hosted The Year 2025, a primetime special that aired on ABC and streamed on Disney Plus and Hulu the very next day, a direct bridge between traditional broadcast and the streaming future. Robin Roberts' personal social media channels also function as brand amplifiers. Every post she makes about GMA extends the show's reach far beyond its broadcast audience. In the modern media economy, a host with a personal following is a platform, and Robin Roberts is a platform. We've talked about the numbers, the ratings, the revenue, the competition, but the most important story here isn't about television. It's about business principles that work in any industry. Because Robin Roberts didn't just build a television career, she built a brand. And the lessons embedded in that brand are worth more than anything you'll find in a business school textbook. Lesson 1. Authenticity is your most powerful competitive advantage. In a world where audiences have more choices than ever before, they don't just choose what to watch, they choose who to trust. Robin Roberts built 20 years of unshakable audience loyalty not through marketing campaigns, but through simply being real. In business, your authentic story is your most powerful sales tool. Lesson 2. Survive the storm and then own the narrative. Twice, Robbie Roberts faced a diagnosis that could have ended her career and her life. Both times, she chose transparency over silence. She didn't let the story be told about her, she told it herself. In business, when crisis comes, and it will come, the leaders who control their own narrative are the ones who emerge stronger. Lesson 3. Consistency compounds. 20 years, same desk, same commitment, same integrity, every single morning. Compounded over time, that consistency has built brand equity that no competitor can buy overnight. In business, showing up consistently, day after day, creates a trust that no amount of advertising budget can replicate. Lesson 4. Your personal brand amplifies your corporate brand. Ask any American to describe Good Morning America, and the first word out of their mouth is likely Robin. She doesn't just represent GMA, she is GMA. The lesson for every business leader: invest in your people, because people, the right people, become your brand. Lesson 5. The right investment in talent is never an expense, it's a multiplier. ABC pays Robin Roberts $25 million a year. That sounds like a staggering cost, but look at what that investment generates. Hundreds of millions in advertising, brand partnerships, sponsorships, streaming rights, and merchandise. 25 million in, hundreds of millions out. That is what it means to invest in world-class talent. Every morning, in living rooms and kitchens and diners from New York to Los Angeles, America wakes up to the same voice, the same face, the same warmth. Good Morning America isn't just a television program, it is a daily ritual for millions of people, a trusted companion through the noise of modern life, an empire built not on spectacle or scandal, but on something far more powerful and far more rare: trust. And at the heart of that empire for over 20 years has been Robin Roberts, a girl from Pass Christian, Mississippi who played basketball with everything she had, who worked every local sports desk she could find, who clawed her way to ESPN and then to the most watched morning desk in America, and then held it through cancer, through surgery, through competition, through a changing media landscape that has swallowed lesser brands whole. She is a $25 million a year anchor. She is a $75 million net worth brand. She is the face behind one of television's greatest revenue machines. But more than any of that, she is proof that the most enduring competitive advantage in any business isn't technology, isn't marketing, and isn't even capital. It is character. Good Morning America.
If this video opened your eyes to the business of American media, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who love these kinds of deep dive stories. Subscribe, because every week we break down the people and the money behind America's biggest brands and media empires. And leave a comment. I want to know, who do you think is the bigger brand today? Robin Roberts or Good Morning America itself? Let's talk about it below. And if you want to go even deeper into the world of media business, our next video is right here. You're not going to want to miss it.